Good evening and welcome everybody. Once again, it's Thursday night. It's Rainlight Racing. It is the 2023 GT3 Series Season 4 brought to you by Titanium Digital Solutions, AJ Champ and True to Life Racing Designs. It's also the final round for Season 4 and the final round for 2023. I'm Davo, and as usual, right beside me here is a good friend and a CC legend, J-Man. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, good, mate. Good evening, Davo. Good evening, everybody, viewers, everybody tuning in tonight. Yeah, as you mentioned, this is the final round. It is round 10 here at Rainlight Racing, Season 4, 2023, mate. What a fitting finale. Some might disagree, but I happen to be a big fan of Oulton Park myself, Davo.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
throwing a bit of British weather as well, mate, and things could get really spicy tonight. So
Yes, so it should be a cracker of a race. J-Man, like you mentioned, we are at Oulton Park. It is round 10, the final round for the year and for the season. We've got a good field out there. We've got 24 cars on track, or not on track. They're all in driver brief at the moment as we're speaking. But yes, we have just just about to complete 10 rounds, J-Man. We've been at Paul Ricard, we've been at Monza, we've been at Zolder, Brands Hatch, Kyalami, we've been at Valencia. Bathurst had a cracking race at Spa. Last week was friggin' awesome at Imola, and here we are on the GOAT track, as the boys have been aptly naming it throughout the week. There's just looking at their socials, the Rainlight socials, not everyone a fan, J-Man. So it's like you said, throwing a bit of just crappy British weather, and this is going to be a very spectacular race.
yeah, I think so, and you know, look, that at the exception of the likes of Charlie Booth, you know, a lot of the big names here have turned up to see this one out. You know, I think the likes of Maverick and Tinnis, Webley, Yucko, Crossland and co. You know, all the big names at the top end of the town. But there's still a lot at stake. You know, there's guys that'll be wanting to make the 10 overall this season. There's statistically a lot of stuff still going on. You know, we know Maverick's got a big handle on this thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, statistically going into this round 10, he's got around about a 90%, 80 to 90% win ratio. You know, the guy qualifies at about on pole. You know, over the 9 rounds previous, he's in there somewhere between 10 and 20% of the time on the front row. Probably on the front row, he's probably in the 80%. That you know, there's plenty of guys out there tonight that that are going to take the challenge to the likes of Maverick, the likes of Vic Chan, Tinnis, Crossy, Webley. You know, there's a lot of guys going to put their hand up for this one, going
For sure.
2023 into 24. So pretty excited to see what we're going to get and what sort of conditions we're going to get out there. So as I mentioned, you've got the graphic up there. Maverick at the top end of town, over Tinnis, over Brandon, Webley, Yucko Venter, Charlie Booth, still maintaining that 5th position and having a few absentees as well. Steve Crossland, T-Fam, great job from T-Fam, great round last week and the week before. Gunter Rowe, Nick Firth and Chris Curley make out the 10. Blistering pace we've seen at times from Chris Curley. That 1 lap speed is amazing. Matty T, Nathan Henderson, all the way down to Kenneth Worcester and round out the 20, and the list goes on and on and on, because I tell you what, these guys, kudos to this administration and to the drivers of this Rainlight Racing, because, you know, to get to the final round and have around 25 drivers, 24 drivers still at the final round is no easy feat. So congratulations to all those guys that have taken part in the series, Dave. I'll hand it back to you and see where we pick up here.
Yeah, definitely some good numbers throughout the series, J-Man. Guys coming and going down in the lower half of the field, but the boys at the top all pretty keen to stamp their name on this final series here at Rainlight in 2023, J-Man. So, yeah, some really good attendances. Like you mentioned, Rainlight really does need to give themselves a pat on the back. They're definitely doing something right there, J-Man. We got the first tier of qualifying for the first 10 minutes out on track, J-Man.
Two-part qualification here, so this will be the back around 10 to 15 guys, 10 to 12 guys that just ran in the official practice session will get their first hand at this track. And I just want to bring up something about that. We've seen this all season long, so obviously so this is a two-part qualifying. It tends to be the faster guys run second, and in an optimal condition these guys would get the optimum track, because these boys basically go out, rubber this thing up, and then the quick boys come out and run the final waters around 10 minutes to run. So this tier get the first 10, and the quick boys get the second 10 minutes. However, overhead conditions are overcast with cloud. Current track condition is fast. Will we see an optimum track for the back end boys? I'm not sure what the time scale or how aggressive the weather model is tonight, but we might see a little bit more equality between the two tiers, because track conditions might not favour the second tier.
No. Well, it could deteriorate tonight. That's a good point, J-Man. I think there's about a 30% chance of rain tonight, give or take a little bit. So anything could happen, given we are at Oulton Park. I just noticed one of those drivers out in the, which we've got the cameras focused on at the moment, actually, J-Man, Gunther Rowe. In the first tier has hung back. Also a couple of others to note, I think Harrison Bella and Dawson as well, all in that first tier. Pete Dawson, yes, in the white Lambo. So Frodo as well, first race last week at Imola, was unfortunately disqualified. Totally missed the pit entry line there.
That was the impromptu mandatory pit stop, caught him and many others out, I might add, that night, but certainly caught Shane Fodderdo out very, very badly, and obviously approached that 50k speed limit into pit entry at 100k an hour here. Yeah. And that was enough for the stewards to just say, hey, mate, it's time to pack it up.
For sure.
So big shout out to a few newcomers here tonight for us. Obviously, we have got the 38 car of Prue and Tracy there, which is a Mercedes-Benz with a long bonnet. Also, Wally Baker in there in the McLaren, and I do believe we also have...
There was another one, wasn't there?
There was one more. He may have gone. I'm just scanning the list. No, it was Mr. Dayton. And Mr. Dayton has made the second part of qualifying in the Honda.
In the Honda, of all things. Now, I think Dayton may have been around last week, but left early as well, J-Man. So we'll just keep an eye on that Honda, see if it does come out in that second tier of qualifying.
Also Farmer in there, aka Steve Wilton.
AKA Mr. Steve Wilton. I've actually worked with Steve before. I think both J-Man.
Part of our broadcasting group.
Yes, he is a sit-in co-commentator with the MatchFit crew. So yeah, welcome aboard, Steve Wilton. Enjoy your race tonight. Shane Frodo, J-Man.
Up the top of it.
Yep. Yeah, in provisional pole at the moment in the Porsche in the dry. We just did some pre-qualifying practice, and that Porsche was nowhere to be seen on the timing sheets, J-Man. So, it'll be interesting to see what his night is like tonight if it starts to rain.
Yeah, so my take out of that is I saw Cooley and co in the official practice session before it started raining earlier this evening. I think I saw Cooley run a 33.0.
I think that was it.
Any of the viewers, you can quote me if I'm wrong, if you were a part of that, or you saw it, or you're listening in. I know that some of our second tier qualifying runners do tune into this first part of the broadcast before they go out. So definitely pretty relaxed, those guys. But so I'm going to say a 33.670 is a very, very good time, as he does have some half a second over Prune Tracy at the moment. I do expect Gunter to punch a slightly better number than the 34.7 that he's on, come up there. But that is a pretty good lap, I think, from Shane. So
yeah, that's a pretty stout lap. Definitely, J-Man.
So you would expect to see that well inside the 10 at the end of proceedings here after this next stage of qualifying. So I just saw Shane just back out of that lap. I know you're not got a visual on the moment, but I'll just get the viewers up to speed with their current provisional pole sitter that he did actually just really roll out of that lap as he was coming down out of turn 15 Druids Corner, heading down to Warwick Bridge, and then the Lodge Corner, which is turn 16. That he really got out of that thing and maybe just gave himself a bit of margin there, as we do pick up on Pete Dawson,
Now,
who's currently provisionally P3.
yeah, now just watching Pete Dawson's car in pre-race pracky, and again there, just as the camera's picked up on it, he doesn't look very comfortable in that car. I don't know whether that front suspension's really dealing with the curbs very well. The car looks a little bit awkward.
Yeah, it might be dealing with the plus 29 kilos that the BOP have given him this week as well, mate. So
Well,
the
quite
Lamborghini's
possibly. I don't know whether
certainly been hamstrung a little bit
I
here.
don't know whether it's got enough travel in that front end to deal with another X amount of kilos. So Dawson looked like just again backing out of it and then going for a run into that current lap, and not really getting a good first turn immediately. So that car not looking comfortable in that car tonight, J-Man. Not the Pete Dawson we are used to seeing after 9 rounds so far.
Okay, I do believe, looking at our entry list as well, we may have lost Steve Oulton, so he may have entered for the practice session and decided to call it a night. He could have a prior arrangement, but hey, nonetheless, it was still good to see Steve Oulton, aka Farmer, out there.
Absolutely, J-Man. As we just pick up on Gunther Rowe, another one of the cars just looks like it's not handling the curbs, particularly in the chicanes, J-Man. They're not overly aggressive here compared to somewhere like, oh God, where is it? Zolder. But still, they're just, the cars are not looking comfortable, and I think the old McLaren's been a Jenny Craig throughout the week, hasn't it? Had a bit of a weight reduction, a bit of lipo or something?
Yeah, substantially. I mean, we saw that car as high as plus 39 or something, or plus 38 or something.
Yep.
And I'll just give you a bit of an update on where that McLaren is, and that McLaren is currently sitting at plus 14 kilos.
Okay, well that's a big change. That's halved its BOP. As we just start to see the second tier roll out, I can see that is Crossland and Webley in the background behind Gunther. Gunther just getting out of it now. We will see the likes of Chan start to come out, Maverick start to come out, these boys just holding back a little bit. Tinnis Venter, and that is Zarco hot in tow. Right behind him, Ferrari v McLaren, both major sponsor cars from Titanium Digital Solution, those boys, the Venter boys, so keep an eye on those guys. But yeah, Webley, again, like you mentioned, J-Man, back in the Marlboro livery, looking fantastic. That car does, that really suits that Ferrari.
So, yeah, and he's had that thing wound up. We saw, a bit of an unfortunate scenario at Spa. We saw that car had a ton of pace on it, but yeah, he's looking good. What can we tell you about the Ferrari? We can tell you it's 13 kilos underweight, so no hamstring there for the Ferrari tonight. That Ferrari is 13 kilos underweight, so should be able to manipulate something out of that. Is Brandon Webley.
As you would expect, J-Man, as the cameras flick back to Mr. Chris Curley, we would expect to see now pre-race practice. We saw this guy, top of the board, Cracking race last week, only to throw it away in the final stages with a drive through J-Man. So definitely one to watch. But back to Steve Crossland, actually, I think was the first car out just in front of Webley. You can see these guys in formation here. It's Webley, and then it's Tinnis Venter, and there's Jaco Venter rounding out those 4 cars. They are the 4 leading cars in the second tier of qualifying here. J-Man for round 10, the final round at Oulton Park. Rainlight Racing's final race pretty well for the year. Official main game stuff anyway. J-Man. Crossy looked like he just had a little bit of oversteer coming out of that second chicane. It might have compromised his lap a little bit. He was 9/10 up. He's only back down to 6 now on my data.
Yeah, sorry, I was just picking up on a little bit of chit chat there. So,
Crossy just picking that up a little bit, back to 8/10. Puts him in 7th. Coolly on the top of the board there, J-Man, with another 3-3-0. 3-3-0-7, nearly a 3-2. Man, that guy is quick.
Very, very quick.
Webley, provisional 3rd. Fodado, just holding him out there. Fodado, like you mentioned earlier, J-Man, with a pretty stout lap out of the Porsche there. Tinnis Venter in 3rd. Jaco was right behind him. He's in 7th, yet to climb that little bit further. Chasing the sister car.
Yeah, and chasing hard. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Cooley did bank a 33-0 in that official practice session. I'm just trying to pick up on names. I'm just trying to co-reference names versus real names. So Phil Antoon saying that Vic and I will pursue from the back. So I presume is that Maverick? Is Maverick starting from the pit lane? I believe it is. And Vic Chan also starting from the pit lane. So
nice work.
Mate, those boys will be moving forward as you were. A little bit of T-Fam action out there at the moment, is it? Yeah,
T-Fam. Also, Nick Firth in the Firthy's Fried Chicken car. Also, J-Man out there tonight. Flying the chicken flag. Firthy's Fried Chicken.
Love me a bit of fried chicken.
Absolutely. Okay, so the data is not showing a lot of movement at the top, J-Man.
No.
T-Fam with a little bit of work to do yet.
Who could you see? Craig McConnell on a pretty good lap as well.
Craig McConnell. Now, that's a name I didn't expect to see at this end of the field in qualifying, J-Man, but he's really starting to show some form. 3/10 up on his lap there. That'll put him in 4th.
Yeah, and the track has gone optimum. We talked about this earlier, Davo, and the track has gone optimum. What did that just do for Craig? It looked like a pretty big run wide there. It is a cut lap. I just querying just the amount of track that these guys are prepared to use in the exit of the Old Hall corner, which is turn 1, and that cost him there. So this will be a throwaway lap.
Yeah.
For Craig, he'll want to keep the tyres in the right phase, but this will come to not much. Tinnis, on the other hand, got a couple of 3/10 in his pocket.
Yes, he has, and that would put him in front of Webley if he can just keep that up. He's heading down the back straight now into the final corner.
Yep.
So very awkward little corner, dips into it, but then it's off camber on the exit. He seems to hold it pretty nicely there, J-Man. This could put him in.
He's going to carry this.
Oh, nice work into second position. Webley's just pulling it over. He's had enough, J-Man, so nice work. Fodado still holding down 4th position. Jaco's moved up, chasing the sister car. He's in 5th position now.
Yeah, Crossy on a better lap this one around. He's going to need a bit more than what he's got in his pocket. He certainly
Yeah,
needs a good
well,
half a second. He's got a couple of tenths, maybe 3 at the moment. So
well, that'll get him in the top 10, but it's not going to get him in the top 5, and that's where he really needs to be a Sharko with a big lose. Down at the hairpin, down at 3. I think they call it 4, but it's basically 3.
it's actually, where was that? Down,
4 at
down
the
at the
hairpin,
back?
so nice work.
It's turn 5, yeah.
McConnell in the Gorilla Racing McLaren, fantastic looking car. This really hasn't shown up on the radar over the last few weeks, but look at him here tonight.
Yeah, doing a stout job here tonight, and 2.5 minutes to go. He's still got plenty of time. He'll get this one and another one done. T-Fam looking to improve this lap
Well,
too.
T-Fam, if he can hold that, those few tenths he's got there, J-Man, that could put him in front of Jaco Venter.
Yeah, it could be up to a P5 here with this lap here. He comes up the up the hill here, up towards Druid's corner, yeah. So
yeah, nice work down the back straight here and then into the final corner. But yeah, tricky little final corner here. It begs you to go in hard. It's got this nice little camber dip in it, but then as soon as you get over the crest, it's all off camber and very slippery, bumpy as hell, like everywhere else at Oulton. Here we go, Fam. He's got at least one. Oh, bam! There you go. Takes Frodo as well, J-Man. Puts it in fourth.
Yep, that's a great lap from T-Fam there. We've seen a great improvement from T-Fam throughout the season. He had some great battles early on with the likes of Pete Dawson, Matty T and co, but T-Fam's really stuck to it here this season. And,
hasn't he what? Hasn't he what? Now, Cooley, we thought the 33.0 was good. He's already got a 32.4 and he is up on his Delta again, J-Man.
It's a massive lap. This guy, his ability to punch these amazing numbers is... yeah, certainly pretty special.
So a little bit of oversteer out of the second chicane there, J-Man, as he gets up over the crest of the hill and into Druids here. He's lost that little, he had a marginal gain on his best time.
Comes down Warwick Bridge straight here into Lodge Corner. Coming out of Lodge Corner,
looks
nice
like
and
he's
tidy.
got it here again.
Might grab another 10th here. 32.355, and that'll be all she wrote. He doesn't need to run another one. He knows
no,
it's
he doesn't.
Good enough.
Webley coming out of the pit lane. He will miss this, J-Man.
Tennis looking to slightly improve as well. Runs through on a 33.352.
Oh, nice work from Tennis.
Yeah, great lap. However, it is the better part of just under a second slower at the moment than Chris Cooley. So Cooley has done a great job here of the qualifying. Firthy on a lap as well.
Yeah, this could put him in 6th position, 7th position there, J-Man.
Yeah, just behind Steve Crossland, who Crossy once again back to back, week in week out is doing a great job in his qualifying now. So now, where are both those guys? I just want to touch on, the way things stand. Steve Crossland is in P6 on 424 points over Firthy in P9 on around 379. So a little bit of margin there. So it is a 90-minute race. Plenty to play for here.
Yeah, plenty can happen in 90 minutes, J-Man. As looks like Dixon and Firth actually just snuck across the line in time. There is one more car in front of them actually as well. That might be T-Fam up in front there. I'm not quite sure, but Dixon down a little bit on his time. He was super quick last week. So yeah, unusual to see him down there. The Lamborghini not liking Oulton tonight. Like you said, the kilos might have something to do with it, but both Dawson and Dixon struggling for pace here with
this could see him move up a couple of spots. I mean, I potentially could see him move up to 13th in front of Harrison Bella. If he managed to maybe even Pete Dawson for that fact into P12. So we'll see where this lands him. It does P12. He just pipped Pete Dawson there. So the 997 Lamborghini does improve late in the piece. Just scanning the thing. T-Fam, he's done Firthy, they're all done. That is all she wrote. So Chris Curley there with a mega lap at the final round here to take pole over Tinnis Venter shares the front row. Brandon Webley, T-Fam share the second row. Yucko Venter, Shane Fodado third row. Crossland, Firth, McConnell, Dayton. So great showing there. You did mention that maybe Dayton was there the week before. However, he is there in P10 sharing that fifth row with Craig McConnell. Prune Tracy, another newcomer. So, yeah, interesting to see the Dayton and Tracy ended up pretty close out there on track. Gunter Rowe does end up... just trying to pick up there.
So we've
Gunter
lost
Rowe's
Gunter.
in the pits.
Yeah, we lost Gunter. So is he back? But in the pits, J-Man. And who was the other one we lost? Was Steve Wilton as well. So...
Yep. So it looks like we might end up with this thing at 23, I looks, because as I mentioned...
22 or 30, yes, that's right.
Yeah, Vic Chan and Maverick starting from pit lane. And I tell you what, those two blokes will go out there and make short work.
Well, they've actually just picked up on the back of the grid, J-Man, so not pit lane, so to speak, but
from the back, sorry, apologies.
Maybe running from the back, but that will be something to watch, those two guys going at it.
I tell you, how cool is Chris Curley at the moment? He's out there, put this thing on pole, and he's got time to have a chat with us on the live stream. Well done on that lap, Chris. I know you're obviously tuning in, mate, so congratulations. Sorry, Dave, I just had to pick up on that as you were, mate. So, yeah, pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, so very lovely looking day out here, and what a way to finish off the year for the final round here at Oulton Park. J-Man, 22 cars or so on track for the Titanium Digital Solutions AJ Champ, True to Life Racing Designs, sponsored Rainlight Racing GT3 series here, mate. It's been an awesome season so far. I can't see anything changing in the last race. This is going to be close. Not the easiest place to pass around. So the couple of boys we were just talking about earlier sitting at the back of the field will definitely have their work cut out for them, as will any of the the guys in front of them. Just to no pressure, guys, but they're going to want to get past pretty smartly. So, yeah, fantastic looking grid there. Curley and Tinnis on the front row. Webley, T-Fam, Jacka Venter, Shane Fodado. Shane Fodado doing an excellent job to keep that portion sixth after qualifying in the first tier. Steve Crossland, Nick Firth, Craig McConnell and Mr. Dayton in the Honda, actually, J-Man, rounding out the top 10 as they roll away for the formation lap.
Yeah, I think, great to see the Honda out there, and I think keys to this race, from my perspective, Davo, tonight, and we'll probably touch on this as we get going, will be, 90 minutes around here, track cuts at turn 1 specifically, over use of track limits at turn 1 will be something to...
turn 1 and the final one, yeah.
Yeah, and the final one will be to consider, so that'll be interesting. And the other thing as well will be definitely what the weather does here. I mean, we've got the sun peeking behind the clouds right now. However, so I've got, what's going on here? Am I got something wrong with my graphic? But I've got Chris Curley starting from the pit lane. So... have I got something wrong with my graphic?
So Chris Curley is...
and Will Dixon.
Yes, Curley and Dixon, yes, both in the pit lane. J-Man, which has...
promoted Tinnis to...
Yes, Tinnis has been gifted first position, Brandon, and so him and Brandon will make out the front row as they... come round. So the ever-changing positions here with Vic Chan and Maverick at the back. Now we have Curley, the other fastest, down the back of the pack as well, joining them. So that'll
Oh, I
just
do,
make
yeah,
that
that'd be interesting.
that will make that even more spectacular, as I think we just see Jarko Venter just making sure he's got enough space in the chicane there by removing the tyre bundle. Love your work, Jarko. It might have been T-Fam, but T-Fam now in third and Jarko in fourth. So these guys can't make a show of those positions, mate. They're not trying hard enough. Everybody moved up a posse, as you would expect.
And
J-Man.
something for the viewers to think about tonight. You know, we mentioned about the points earlier on, as these guys are still cycling up, so it won't take too long. But yeah, as we mentioned, Maverick out there on 714 points over Tennis Venter on 522, and then Brandon Webley on 460. Now, this is where I want to mention Brandon Webley, currently P2 on the grid at the start of this race on 460 points. However, Jarko Venter, who is currently P4 on this grid, is 441 points. So that battle for the podium in this championship is still very much alive. And I'll hand it back to you as the race start here, David.
Thanks, J-Man. Rainlight Racing 2023 GT3 Series, round 10. We've got a green flag now. The boys race into T1. We've got 3 wide back in the field. Webley and T-Fam come together slightly there. J-Man, Fam wide as they negotiate themselves. There's a lot of jostling going on through the back of the field here. Fam down the inside. He's got Firth on the outside. Turns first. He had a little bit of grass.
Out of it.
So a little bit of grass on the inside for Fam. Just lost his brakes. Webley, that's left Webley and Jarko just to run away with, who's that out front, should I say? Tinnis, Webley, Jarko. Faraday picking up the crumbs.
Yes, so Faraday in a good position. He managed to avoid all of that to end up out of that P4 as we stand. Rossum with a great start as well, managed to avoid that. Once again, as per mentioned, Craig McConnell actually just under a little bit of pressure from Prune Tracy as they come down into the
second chicane there.
Chicane, which is Hislops.
Yeah, so nice work. And if you just look back there a little bit, actually Vic Chan already up a few positions. Also Mav has just rounded up Adrian Kramer as well. So those guys working hard already. Just in front of them, we've got 3 wide with Aston Hughes, Mark Turbo, Kenneth Worcester gets out in front. He's got a couple of Astons behind him, and Vic Chan with a good run off the corner here. Just watch him and Mav try and negotiate these back markers, J-Man. But out the front, we got Faraday. Crossy all over the back of Faraday as Faraday ranges up on the back of Jarko Venter.
Yeah, Chan with a good run on Hughes out in the final corner. Looked to do a late break move into turn 1 down the inside.
So Prune Tracy doing a fantastic job with Mr. Dayton in the Honda right behind. And that is Craig McConnell out in front, like we mentioned, not coming up on our radar a lot this season. But man, is he making a showing tonight. He's definitely making up for it. As you can see, the top 4 cars just up in the front there. Tinnis Venter's actually made a little bit of a break and left the other 3 behind him. But Mr. McConnell is going to have Prune Tracy and Matt right up his clacker soon enough. That is Pete Dawson, who I didn't expect to see up here so early in the race. They've been gifted a couple of positions, but Dawson looked like he was struggling tonight. Crossland weaving all over the back of Faraday, J-Man.
Yeah, he is, and looking to try and make some early moves there. Hey, one thing to mention too for the viewers, if you haven't noticed on the graphic, the guys are mandated to 1 compulsory pit stop here tonight. I believe it's probably status quo from the week before. It is probably a mandatory tyre change here tonight, so just factor that in through these guys' strategy throughout this 90-minute race here at Oulton Park.
Yeah, so you guys are only hearing about it now, just like we are, because we can see it on the tower as we just see that was Aston Hughes going around just after Vic and Mav had slipped past there. So I think Aston just got a little bit of tyre on the grass there. It's all it takes here. So you just look out of the back of Worcester's car as Chan just rounds off Turbot. Mav's the next one, and Mav's actually just dropped back a little bit. Probably
Yeah,
just caught it. They're drawing straws here, actually running through the back of the field here. So the boys, no wonder it's a little bit here and there. We will see these gaps come a bit closer together as this race starts to pan out. But Chan now on Worcester down into 5. We've got to get back up to. Sorry,
I tell
Jarko
you
Venter.
what, just saying that Firthy and T-Fam coming back through after that first lap incident too. Those guys got a ton of pace
work.
on.
Yeah. So Fam and Firth quick here tonight, J-Man. Fam in particular, so he'll be spewing that he had to redress the touch on Firth, but unlucky for both drivers there. Put him well back in the field. But 90 minutes of racing here, J-Man. We haven't even completed 5 yet, so there's plenty of action to continue. Worcester not giving an inch to Chan as they drop into Druids there. You can see Mav now. He's right on the back of Turbot. These guys going at it.
For an inside move down into the final turn. Well,
and
he's
got it done. He's got it done. But Vic's held up with Worcester, so plenty going on.
I can tell you, Prune Tracy and Matt Dayton, Mr. Dayton, I don't know the first name there, so Mr. Dayton and Prune Tracy both putting a heap of pressure that previous lap on Craig McConnell, who's doing a great job on P6 in behind Steve Croston there. So,
here we go. It was only a matter of time. Chan into the back of Worcester. That has put Maverick out in front. Shane Farnado and Jarko Venter, J-Man. This is not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, with the company of Crossland as well.
Oh, Farnado has Crossy behind him. A little bit of lag there, guys. Nothing to see here. As Crossy just backs off a little bit there. I don't know whether he might have felt a little bit of a glitch there himself, but backed off a little bit. But Farnado, well and truly the meat of the sandwich here, J-Man, in that little group there.
Yeah, Webley with the fastest lap of the race so far on a 34.237. So just slightly quicker than Tinnis.
There you go. So Tinnis with a gap. He's got his head down, J-Man. He's definitely focused.
He'll need to, because Webley's about to post another quicker lap again. So
Webley's coming, that's for sure. And Tinnis with a little bit of a slip up in the last corner there, had to correct the car, and that is all Webley needs. It's just those little gains. Jarko Venter with all sorts of temp from Farnado here. That Porsche really showing its cornering prowess here at Oulton, J-Man.
Yeah, so Shane with a little bit of breathing space over Steve Crosland just this last lap, so it's allowed him to focus a little bit more on the back of Yucko. You mentioned Tinnis with a little slip out of that final quarter. Hey, I can tell you it was enough to still post.
A good time, that's it. Yeah, that's right. Well, Crossland blew the first corner, and that's why he's backed off that little bit more again. So a couple of very difficult corners, J-Man, and ones where we know they're susceptible to corner cuts, the final and the first corner. So those guys will be very mindful of that. As we just look in the background there, who is that? Craig McConnell. Oh, 3 wide there from now. You said Prune Tracy was on. He's got past McConnell. Next in line is Mr. Dayton.
Yeah, Mr. Dayton lining him up, and I can tell you a little bit further back from there, Chris Curley starting out of pit lane is rounded up and on the back of Maverick. So Maverick, our current championship leader and likely championship winner, by the looks of the numbers, has got a company from Chris Curley on the back.
This is Imola last week. These guys raced like this the whole race, 60 minutes until Curley, unfortunately, got a corner cut, had to come in for a drive-through, blew the race in the second last lap or something. But these guys literally raced nose to tail for the whole 60 minutes. Impressive stuff to watch. And here we are again. They've got Crossland in front, who is he's got a pretty speedy car tonight, but mate, these guys will make him look like he's standing still. They will catch up to him so quick.
Yeah, well, last lap around, Curley was 1.3 seconds faster than Steve Crossland's. Steve Crossland, he was a second faster than Maverick. So he's got there now. He's just got to try and construct the pass.
Oh, well, Cooley
As,
off track there, actually,
we
J-Man,
just
through
seen
the
him come
left-hander.
through Island Bend at turn 4, heading out to Shell. There's a gap in the fence there that we all well know about.
Well,
it's there for a reason.
Yeah, well, he didn't need it, but he got it back together. But geez, didn't he lose that that gap there? Frodo behind Zarko again, J-Man.
Yep. And
so come through Druids here.
Craig McConnell's weathered the storm after Prune Tracy got through. He's just managed to hold off Mr. Dayton at the moment as well. So, but yeah, Frodo, all the pressure at the moment on the back of Jaco Venter. So a much better showing immediately from Shane Frodo. He was sitting in a comfortable 4th position last week at Imola before the pit stop infringement. However, that little run wide at the turn 1 will be enough to create a strike for the stewards. So you'll only get 3 of those before an invitation down the pit lane there, Mr. Frodo. So he'll be aware of that.
Definitely. As we pick up on Big Chan, he is well back in the field, J-Man. I don't know whether he might have just had another little excursion because he was just tucked up in behind Kenneth again, Mr. Worcester, and is now well back and behind
Uncle Joe.
It is Uncle Joe in a different coloured car. That's why I didn't recognise him.
Yeah, so Uncle Joe's got a bit of, I don't know, support breast cancer or something going on this week. There's a bit of pink going on.
Yeah, nice work. We're all up for that. I love breasts as well, J-Man.
Absolutely.
Now, I do notice we are missing a name out of my list here. There is no Van de Venter here tonight, J-Man.
Louis tuned in, so good to see Louis. If he can't be on track, one of our naming rights sponsors actually tuning in, so good on you, Louis. Good to see you.
Nice work. Now, what has changed here is that Jaco Venter has literally driven away from Shane Frodo and right up behind Mr. Webley. So now Brandon has a lot to think about. He was just trying to focus on Tinnis and trying to bridge that gap, but now Jaco Venter, the sister car, is going to make life tough for him.
So Mav has rounded up Steve.
Mr. Steve Crossland.
Just like breast there, Louis. It's no secret. Davo does like them. Oh, and we got Cooley on an outside move, turn 1 on Steve Crossland. That was a beautiful pass there from Chris Cooley. That is nothing short of
impressive.
Brave.
Let's see if we can get that. Actually, let me just get back there. Let's get a quick. Let's have a look at this as they just run out of the final corner here. Now, Crossy didn't have the best run out of the final corner. Mav just head down. He's already passed. And here we go. Cooley on the outside. Crossy compromised on the inside. Gives him the space. And Cooley rounds here. But like I said, mate, these guys make the likes of Crossy look like they're standing still. And looking for a parking spot, mate. You know, like, what the hell?
I don't even think he breached track limits there. I think that was just, absolutely well constructed. And I've just picked back up on this, as you mentioned previously, Jaco on Brandon Webley. That battle is going off. And I think the longer it goes on, the more of an invitation it's going to give back to the Porsche of the 585 Porsche of Shane Frodo.
Yeah, I just wonder whether Shane, you know, like he's in a position now where he can sort of just ease off, let the tyres equalise, you know, his temps and his pressures equalise a little bit, and then just refocus and get back into it. But look, where does he go? This, you know, like he's just going to get back in between 2 cars, so he's better off just sitting back.
Bit of a move here from Wally Baker on Adrian Kramer, and that is down to Shell. Actually, I'm just trying to pick up where that is. No, that might have been further around the back there. And now T-Fam's going to get that move done also on
so nice work.
Wally Baker.
Yeah, so nice work from Wally, just seeing all that unfold in his rear view and just having the presence of mind. He's let Kramer through and now T-Fam as well. So, yeah, nice work. Actually, it was Adrian Kramer letting Wally Baker and T-Fam through. So, yeah, nice Nice stuff, J-Man. It's all happening throughout the field at the moment.
Yeah, good pick up there too, Louis. You're right. 12 minutes in, and Mav and Cooley are in the top 10. So that's a great drive from the back of the pack of what is a 22 car field is a pretty epic drive.
Pretty epic. That's it. And look, no surprise there really. We saw Vic just coming to grief there with Kenneth. Worcester, unfortunately, I'm sure he would be right there with those guys. So, yeah, tough luck again for Vic. He's had a tough run here at Rainlight for the short time he's been here. But the race continues. J-Man, Fodado, Jarko, Venta, and Brandon Webley.
Yeah, seems to be where the battle is at the minute. Certainly, Fodado ranged right back up on the back now of Yako. So, Yako falling off the back of Webley a little bit. So a little bit of ebb and flow from these guys, obviously just trying to sort themselves out as they come down through Island Bend here, turn 4, heading down into the right-hand hairpin, which is turn 5, Shell Oil's corner. And Shane really up at the apex there on the back of Yako.
Yeah, the Porsche, just some of these corners, it really gets the squat on and really gets out of it nicely. So
you and I were talking off camera earlier. We were wondering the bumpers, and that bumper's definitely, it's definitely out of that first chicane, which is Britain's chicane. It's 789. Yeah, it's on the exit. They pick up a fair bit of exit ripple strip out of there, a bit of curving on the way out. The left-hander heading up the hill, and they get this really awkward bounce.
Yeah, they do get a fairly violent bump, don't they? And really does upset the car.
Fodado looking strong here.
Now Jarko had a little off track just on the way up the hill through the kick at the top of the crest. Really did compromise his run into Druids, but it's really allowed Fodado to range up J-Man.
Yep. We got else. We've got Will Dixon and Kenneth Worcester very close, according to me on my data. Yeah, they are pretty close as they come into the looks like the second chicane there. Not as close as you expect from the data, but once again, Maverick, Chris Curley there have rounded up Pete Dawson there, so that's P8, P9 for Maverick and Chris Curley. Once again, these guys almost look like they're working together.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're definitely not working against each other. Curley doesn't look like he's showing any threatening moves to, like really on the Predator BMW. They've got enough to deal with the. Well, it's not even lap traffic, just to work their way through the field here. Dayton is the next cab off the rank in the Honda, and then Craig McConnell actually in the Gorilla racing car. So, and they will range up on these two guys pretty sharply, I would expect.
Yeah, so Louis Van der Ven is predicting top 3 by halfway. On the current predictions, Louis, you're probably pretty accurate, mate, because these guys both just circulated in the mid 133s that last lap round. Now,
oh, is that Venter off? Is that Venter off?
Oh, what? No. Yako,
yeah, that is Venter.
Yako,
that is Venter with a very damaged car, J-Man. We're going to get back and have a look at a replay of that.
Yep.
Oh,
and he's in the lane.
So it looked like he'd messed up Druids and was slow.
And who did he get tagged by?
And Fodado's driven into the back of him, J-Man.
Okay.
So just picked up on the end of that. The front of Fodado's car does not look healthy either, but Jarko's, the wing is bent up badly.
Yeah, it's not pretty. He's
in the pits?
He's in the pits. He's going to utilise this as an official pit stop, but I'd say he will be repairing damage as well.
Oh, no doubt.
So that promotes, obviously promotes Fodado up to 3rd, Prune Tracy up to 4th, McConnell in 5th. Oh, who is this? We've got Maverick looking for a move down the inside of Dayton. He won't get it done. He's
No,
vulnerable.
Cooley's into the side of him,
Yeah, a
pushes
little
his
bit of
way
a tucked
past.
up there, mate. We talked about these guys working together. They didn't look like a lot of...
Was they working together there, J-Man?
There wasn't too much cooperation about that one, but nonetheless, they press on. And
there might have been a slight breakdown in communication on that little episode there. But yeah, obviously Maverick's run compromised with Dayton not yielding, and he's not in any position
Cooley
to.
with great drive out of the final corner too, Dave.
Pick him up on the helicam here. So yes, Dayton well within his rights. Look, showed him some space, but really didn't give him the corner as Cooley zips past. Now Dayton very slow off the kind.
As well.
Mav it just owns it.
Cooley probably wants to make a bit of an air gap between him and Mav. He might get served. Up another course for that.
Well, it's on the cards, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, Rubbin's racing, mate. So no, look, hey, these guys are pressing on and very much heading towards Louis Van der Venter's prediction of being top 3. And Craig McConnell is doing a great job. Currently still P5. This is a bit of a breakout drive. I mean, Craig McConnell's done nothing wrong this season. He's been in these. He's very, very consistent. But this top 10 drive tonight, and for the better part of the opening stanza of this race to be top 5 is a great showing. And he's got some pretty fierce competition coming up behind him with Cooley and Mav. But I mean,
for sure.
He'd do well just to let these guys go and tuck in behind them and maintain that 7th position if he can.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it, eh? You know, look, he's got the likes of Steve Crossland just jettisoning positions. He's back in 10. He's got Dawson in front of him.
Well, who's that? Was round? Was that? I just saw somebody round back. Who was that? We're just trying to pick up who that was. There was somebody rotated the wrong way.
So yes, McConnell still dealing with Webley and Cooley, should I say, and dealing with it really well. Like, again, he's not obliged to let these guys pass. He's not a lap car. He's racing for position. So these guys really got to find their way around as Cooley gets so sideways. All for 3, down into 4 here.
Yeah, they can't make him down there.
That's
now,
really
Cooley's going to be vulnerable to Mav
here. Mav on the outside, but you really know where to go here, and it's only a short run up into 1 as McConnell gets
undone himself.
Totally unforced. Cooley and Mav get around that.
Yeah,
Mav looks seriously sideways through the middle half of that chicane, which really compromised his run, but it doesn't show here as they flick into this second one. Cooley's probably just thinking, don't get too close there. He was waiting for a trade-off.
What do you reckon Mav's going to have a dive here and serve him some back? I reckon it's well on the cards.
I reckon it's... Oh, well, I think he's sort of set the scene, hasn't he? Like, let's play hard, you know, and I'm sure Mav will reciprocate.
There's around 3.5 tenths between their best laps, with obviously Mav Cooley holding a 33.0 versus Mav's 33.4. So Cooley looking to press on, but however, who's next on the list? Prune Tracy. How far up the road? He's not that far. They're in the same corner.
So even 30 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen, as we just see some of these boys that have started from the back of the pack starting to work their way right back to the top of the field. We'll thank again Rainlight Racing for bringing us the 2023 GT3 Series Season 4, and obviously we'll thank again Titanium Digital Solutions, AJ Champ, and True to Life Racing Designs for bringing all this wonderful racing to us. Again here tonight, J-Man, Prune Tracy, under a heap of pressure now. Cooley really showing his intent. Mav just dropped back there a little bit in the last lap there. I just wonder whether he got a corner cut and he's just a little bit gun shy now. We're not even 30 minutes in, so He's just sitting back. He's not really looks like he's ranging up on Cooley and giving him any pressure as he tries to dispatch here. Watch this.
Cooley down here.
Oh,
Easy,
yeah,
he steps
gets
aside.
out his way. Lets the boys past, and the battle ensues. That puts him in the 4th and 5th, respectively, J-Man.
Yep, so can I get a confirmation? Filthy, Soz, I can't race currently. My power supply caught fire. Jesus, that is not good. Who is Filthy out on track? Is that Filthy's not Yako, is it? Because we've lost Yako. But a power supply catching fire cannot be a good thing. So hopefully you got an extinguisher there or something. But nonetheless, like we mentioned, Cooley and Maverick moving forward. Currently P4, P5 from the back of this grid. Prune Tracy doing a great job in there. P6. Craig McConnell has got a lot of company now from Pete Dawson in that, heavily pied up Lamborghini.
Oh, yeah.
Lamborghini's got a good 29 odd kilos worth of pies in there.
It doesn't carry its weight well either. So just quietly, and that is Crossy back in the background there, J-Man, in ninth. Yeah, so yeah, he's had a tough race already after qualifying in 6th, J-Man. So I didn't see him really get tangled up with anybody, so not sure what's going on there. We've had Joe Grimmer in for a pit stop, but everybody still running around. It's only been 25 odd minutes of racing so far, and it's been hot.
Yeah, so Vic Chan's currently P17, hasn't made the biggest inroads after that early incident with, I think it was with Kenneth Worcester.
Yeah, it
so
was.
He's
picked it
tucked
up
in
on
behind
the stream.
Kenneth at the moment.
Yeah, so he's come back. I think Chan might have made another mistake there, because I think he got back up behind Kenneth again. Showed up on my data, and by the time I got to him, he was well back and recovering in 21st, I think it was. So yes, been an up and down night for Chan already, J-Man. Not like Mr. Craig McConnell, who's doing a stellar job. He does have Pete Dawson, who his Lamborghini, as the fuel is coming off, seems to be coming back to him. So
huge under brakes down into Shell corner, mate,
there. He's really starting to show some pace, and the car did not look fast in pre-race or qualifying. No. So doing a good job. Who is that they're coming up behind too? Is that not Adrian Kramer? Alex Zandberg's car, I think so. Zandberg well out of position, J-Man.
Runs through at the chicane there just to give him space. And Croston's joined this battle also.
So he's ranged up. So obviously McConnell, I'd say Dawson's being held up there. Who is that? Is that we've got Dixon in the pits, J-Man, at the moment?
Oh, sorry, yes, we do. Yeah, Will Dixon in the pits, as is, it looked like Alex Zandberg may have escaped back to pits as well. So maybe a terminal there for Alex, and it's a shame. However, just watching, I'm monitoring the gap between the 27 car of Chris Curley over Shane Fodderno. It was 3.8 seconds a lap and a half ago. It's now 2.6.
Yeah, well, that's inevitable. These guys with just lightning pace, particularly Curley, but, both Matt Van Curley. It's only a matter of time.
Oh, no, it was Harrison Bella. It was Harrison Bella with the fire. That's a shame, Harrison.
Ouch.
Mate, hopefully you get that sorted. No good time's a good time to have a power supply failure. However, we're about to embark on an off-season, so plenty of time to rebuild.
That definitely get onto that, mate, as Dawson goes very deep down into 5, overshoots the corner trying to miss McConnell. That's loud. That has allowed Crossland through, J-Man, correct.
Yep. So where are we looking? So Chris Cooley has now got the car of, I believe that's Uncle Joe. Between him and Shane Fodderno, he'll be getting the blue flag, so he'll look to get out of the way here as Cooley tries to round him up as they head up the hill, and he'll get this done and chase down Fodderno, which was no more than, what am I talking now? I think maybe Probably only a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds. It is 1.1 seconds, so that's ensuring. So that would lead us to Curly being in the top 3 well and truly
before
inside
halfway.
that halfway.
Now, and it's saying, just watching the pace of these guys, these two guys chasing down Brandon and Tinnis is not out of the question whatsoever in the next hour. If they've come through the field that quickly in 30 minutes, you just watch that top spot. Who is that actually? That looked like Kramer's car, actually, just picking the gap in the fence there, J-Man.
Yeah, gotta have the gap. Sorry, it wasn't Harrison Bella. I don't think with the fire, it must be someone else. However, we have lost Mr. Bella, as we do see Chris Curley up on the back of Shane Fodderdo. He'll be looking to make that pass happen shortly, and it'll be a big thanks for coming.
Yeah, Shane a seasoned racer though, and again he knows.
He's a great defender.
But look, he just gets out of that. The pace of that Aston off the corner. Shane knew he had nothing for him. It was only going to compromise his run. Now he's going to deal with Mav. Does he just step aside here? It looks like he might. J-Man, he does.
Hits the brakes, gets out of it. Lets these boys go at it. So those guys 3rd and 4th. Now, how is Brandon Webley's gap? 3.6 up to Tinnis Venter. So we haven't spoke a lot about Tinnis, which is purely just on the fact that he is just out there doing his thing, as we see Shane Fodderdo in the lane for his official pit stop. So
okay, so interesting. Good time to stop. But with an hour still to race, J-Man. I know the traffic and all, but geez, still a long way to go, isn't there, J-Man? On a set of tyres. So
Craig McConnell
and
going to have to defend from Crossy here now.
Well and truly, J-Man. Dawson looks like he's recovered. I think that it's only been a lap since Dawson, or maybe 2 since Dawson ran wide down here.
Yep.
And that blue McLaren there, we did see duck through that gap in the fence there just a lap ago, as well as the boys rounded the top end of the field, rounded him up. So plenty going on, J-Man, for even these guys through the back end of the field. Just so much to think about, as Dawson on Crossland on the outside. It's a long way round there.
Crossland gets it wrong under brakes. Dawson's going to pick up a twofer here. And he does. He picks up a extra position, as unfortunately that actually compromised Craig McConnell as well. So
did it? Okay, let's have a look at that.
Redress there from Steve Crossland, but it does allow Pete Dawson up to P6. And, as a racer, you take that all day when it comes out in front of you.
So just picking up on the replay, Dawson on the outside of Crossland. Crossland leaving the braking very late, and yes, just nicking the back of McConnell's car, J-Man. Like you said, Dawson picking up a 2-4. Very unfortunate. Crossland will be readdressing that situation immediately. Whew, plenty going on, and there's a lot of racing left to go, J-Man.
Yeah, and I could tell you now, I was monitoring the gaps up the top end of town. Webley was 3.6 behind Venter. That is now 2.9. Curley was another 8.3 seconds behind Webley. That is now 7.3. And he's obviously towing Mav with him also. So that's likely going to ramp up with 57 and a half minutes to go.
Oh, yeah. And
do not rule these two boys out from going to the top end of town here.
Definitely not, J-Man. And if you look closely, every now and then you can actually see Cooley's car in the background.
Yep.
As we watch Webley. Now, these guys will be mindful of the pace of these two guys, and they'll be really focused on hitting their marks, won't they? And not making any mistakes themselves.
Well, we've completed 21 laps. There's still 56 and 3/4 minutes to go, and these guys are doing it to the tune of a second a lap. So you could argue that in the better part of another 7 laps, these guys are going to be there. So at the current pace, not not factoring in tyre fall off and pit stops and what have you. So, and also to mention that, you know, we spoke about it at the top end of the stream. We haven't mentioned it since, but the deeper we get into this 90-minute race here at Oulton Park, the more likely we're going to see that infamous red DT come up beside somebody's name through excessive track use, Davo.
Yeah, and look, every track really has those little hoodoo corners. This one has a couple of them at least, and
It does.
yeah, like you said, some things are just inevitable. That is one of them, especially towards the end of a 90-minute race. Is that some guys just lose a little bit of focus, whether they be in intense battle or not, yeah, just the slightest a slip up, and then you're in to pay the toll.
Another name we haven't really mentioned a lot to tonight, but he is out there sitting outside the 10, just by, a little bit behind Firthy, is Wally Baker out there doing his thing, and he's got a recovering Shane Fodderdo after making that pit stop. So Shane is the first of our, I do believe, of our official pit stoppers here tonight out on track currently. So it'd be interesting to see
it was Joe Grimmer.
Yeah, I'm just talking on track. Shane Fodderdo P12 over Uncle Joe, I think, is P20. So yeah, so Fodderdo is the first official position of pit stoppers out there. He is chasing down Wally Baker. However, I did just see Crossland, Mr. Dayton, and Craig McConnell very close on track, Davo.
Yes, yeah, McConnell doing a stellar job. I mean, Dawson's slipped past him after a little bit of touch-up between Crossy and McConnell's car, but yeah, that's sort of allowed Dayton to get in touch, and yeah, he's really making a race of it as well. These guys fighting amongst themselves, and it just has allowed that Honda to range right up on the back of him now, Dayton. I think, like I mentioned, we might have seen him last week as he goes round the outside of Crossland.
That was a beautiful move as they come through 4 down into 5. He got that done through the island bend there.
Okay, we're going to get a replay on that as we'll just pick up on the helicam, I think, J-Man, as they just roll into 3 here. Crossing a little bit wide and just a little bit gun shy on the exit, and just allowed Dayton to get up the outside. Good run from Dayton. Crossing still contested, but Dayton, fantastic move.
I feel like it was all about the run out of 3. So out of Cascades down the bottom of the hill, and he just kept that momentum going, and he committed. And in all due respect, Crossy gave him the space on the outside. So great piece of driving for both those guys. Look, Dayton's carried on, he's pressed on, and he's put some pressure on Craig McConnell. So he's got the crosshairs out, and he's got the bit between his teeth at the moment, and just trying to keep moving forward. So great showing here from the number 12 Honda.
Yeah, definitely. As we just see Crossland into that pit lane, J-Man. Damn, that's a quick stop into that
so
pit entry.
On the entry.
So Fodderdo, Dixon and Grimmer all pitted so far, J-Man, and now we have Steve Crossland in the pit lane.
Yeah, I've just gone back a touch. I just want to pick up on his entry speed there because it looked pretty quick on the way in there. So I've just got to just get a bit of data here and see what that entry was like. No, it was very accurate. You're actually down to 33k an hour, so yeah, no problem there for Crossy.
Yeah, definitely Mr. 1%er, Steve Crossland.
And Webley closed that margin down some more, down to 2.1 seconds on Tennis Vento.
Yeah, so that's a good visual, and we were just looking over the rear wing of the Webley Ferrari there, and Curly just didn't look like he'd gained much more, J-Man. So
no.
Looks like Brendan's responded a little to the pace, and you can see that visually in that gain on tennis, can't you?
Yeah, you can. just trying to pick up on these boys. That's certainly that the Matt Dayton is right on the back here. Both in a little wiggle out of the final corner there. But yeah, sorry, not Matt. Apologies if that's not your name, Mr. Dayton. Nick Firth at the lane. Comfortably gets it down to the correct speed limit. What is the margin? Mr. Webley over chasing tennis is now 1.8 seconds. So he's just crushing that margin ever slightly.
Ever so
lap.
slightly. Yeah, definitely. Yep. J-Man, as he totally cocks up the second chicane, hits the first ripple strip hard. Just
gathered it up. But
he did gather it up, surprisingly, because the car looks very pointy. But yes, it wasn't the cleanest of corners. You don't see it too often from these boys.
Mr. Dayton looking for a run up the hill here out of the...
Now, this thing is pretty handy around the corner, the old Honda. So, you know, given the right overlap, he can make something happen. But he definitely looks like he's got McConnell's measure at the moment, doesn't it, J-Man? Now
with come out of Hislop chicane, heading up to the Knickerbrook and up to Clay Hill here. Just interesting to see the power difference between the McLaren and the Honda. The Honda doesn't look like it's struggling at all for any horsepower up the hill.
No.
Loses possibly a little through Druids there.
Very sideways and off. A lot of dirt.
Tennis, sorry, I missed that.
Nice
Tennis
work.
in the lane.
So Tennis Venter in the lane in the Titanium Digital Solutions Ferrari, J-Man.
Yep.
And yes, McConnell with all sorts of think about.
Oh, we've got Crossland in the infield.
Crossland on the infield.
Not Crossland on the infield, down out of turn 3 by the look of it.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. Let's see if we can find him on my board. There he is. Okay, so he's had a big off. The car doesn't look damaged, so it looks like he might have just had a bit of a spin, eh?
Yeah, I think potentially something's happened there on the way down the hill. So I am just picked up now on Chris Curley running in P2, and he is looking up the road some 2.9 seconds to Brandon Webley, who's currently holding P1 after that official pit stop from Mr. Tennis Venter, who is back out on track now. So not a bad looking stop there from Tennis, who is now the lead car, having made the lead pit stopped car over Shane Fodeno.
Yes. Correct. As we just watch this Honda, I don't know whether it's just the paint job on that McLaren or whether the bonnet's up. It looks damaged in the back.
It is damaged.
Yeah.
It is damaged.
So his speed could be compromised here. And
if you remember, he got tagged down at the second chicane by Steve Crossland some 5 laps ago.
Yeah, in the back there. Yeah, but yeah, that bonnet looks like it's up a little bit.
Oh,
so yeah, good call from Honda. I wondered why he didn't do it earlier, but again, you know, 48 minutes to run, J-Man.
Yeah.
A lot of guys try and aim for that halfway mark just to capitalise on the rubber. So McConnell onwards and upwards, cracking race for McConnell tonight, J-Man.
Yeah, no, look, McConnell's doing a great job out there, doing his thing. Looks really, really comfortable. Like you mentioned, bit of damage on the rear end of that car. However, the front, you know, looking at the car, he's still making the apex everywhere he needs to.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, as damaged as it looked, it didn't look like it. The speed was compromised, unless he made a mistake with the Honda chasing him down. So, yeah, car looks still more than capable.
Yeah, good to have you on board tonight, Stu. Always a pleasure, mate, when you tune in. We do see Curley closing that margin down on Mr. Webley. A 33.8 last lap round plays a 35.1 of Brandon Webley, so significant margin there. Brune Tracy in the lane.
And you can just see from the body language on the Marlboro Ferrari, J-Man, he is well pushing a little bit of a wriggle out of 3 there. And, you know, probably compromised his run down that chute through 4 and into 5. So, Webley again makes marginal gains, but look, it's only a matter of time. Like we said, it's inevitable. These guys, I really do think they could potentially. It's over 45 minutes to run, and I think these guys will be on the top of the board at the end of the race.
Yeah, I think so. Interact with our viewers live. Louis van der Vent, I can tell you now, McConnell's PB is a 34.957. Last lap round was a 39.5, so some definite fall off in the pace there. Either that was a bad lap, but he has got Tinus Venter closing in on at a rate of knots, who has made his pit stop, so that is not only just for position.
Yes, no, that's right. As we just see Webley and Cooley go in to the pit lane. Very awkward situation, J-Man, there. As it almost looked like Cooley bumped Webley up to the control line. So interesting stuff. There's lots to play for as these guys get serious.
Yeah, so those guys are going to come out really, really close as they exit the lane. It might be the minutest margin depending on who got it squarer in the box. However, they need to be aware that Tinus is coming around. He still hasn't cleared McConnell, and they are coming down.
Oh, Cooley off the blocks early.
To Lodge Corner.
Oh, Cooley with a clear game.
Yep. McConnell in the lane. Cooley's out. Now, where is Tinus? Tinus is rounding the final corner. This is going to be tight, but he's got him.
Tinus has got him, and he's snuck right in there. That's Vic Chan behind him as well, but he's snuck right in behind Cooley.
Yeah, so Cooley got that done.
Mav's pit stop's the next one to watch, J-Man here.
Yeah, expect him to come in, I think, this lap.
Now, I did say that Vic Chan is out of position. I don't think Vic's pitted. No, Vic hasn't pitted. Oh, yes, he has. So, yeah, he's well out of position. So he's actually just gone a lap down then, hasn't he?
Maverick in the lane, watching his entry speed. He's well up on the speed. Oh, very, very accurate from Maverick. So super close. And Kenneth Worcester's in the lane also.
A very difficult pit lane to get it right, J-Man. It's so short. You just literally duck off the racing line and you've got to be stopping, don't you?
Yeah, and I think Craig McConnell's doing a bit of a repair job here too.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, J-Man.
He's been on there way too long. Way too long. So look for Cooley. Where is Cooley? Cooley is coming down Warwick Bridge Straight now, heading towards... Oh, no, he's not. He's actually...
Mav's still on the jacks.
Last corner now.
Mav's still on the jacks. Cooley's going to get him.
Jack. Yeah, he's going to get him. He already had him.
Going to get him. And so is Tinus. Tinus has got him too.
Yep.
So Mav will have his work cut out of him. That's Webley actually just coming around, tucking around behind. So there we go. Yeah, that's Webley just tucked in behind. So where did Tinus end up? Oh yeah, Pete Dawson. So we've got Cooley, Tinus, Maverick, Webley, Shane Fotterdo.
Yep. Pete Dawson's leading this race at the moment, having not made an official pit stop yet.
So yes, Dawson. We also have Warren Baker and Hughesy and Mr. Turbot also. I think Adrian Kramer as well, and TP to come in. So there's still a few guys there to come in. J-Man, little under 42 minutes, 3 minutes to go. J-Man, still heaps to play for. And it's going to get tight again as these pit stops start to equalise, Yeah,
absolutely. And I think you're definitely going to see the likes of Maverick try and clear Vic Chan there to head up the road and challenge Tinus for that, what it'll officially be that second position. So I think, post pit stops, you're going to see Cooley, Tinus, Mav round out the podium there. However, Webley in there. Shane Fotterdo still doing a great job after that early sort of yield to those Cooley and Maverick.
Yes.
Currently sitting in P6, sorry. Prune Tracy and Wally Baker. Now, Wally hasn't made his official stop, so that would see Firthy jump up a spot into P8. Crossland will go up a spot into P9, and that will leave Mr. Dayton to round out the 10 unofficially, depending on where Pete Dawson, because I think Pete Dawson got those guys. So
yeah, I think he did too. And yeah, Tracy probably a bit of a standout tonight. I think I only seen his name for the first time tonight too, and make it a good showing. So nice work, Pete Tracy. Okay, Mav's chasing down Tinnis. Vic actually yielded and just let Mav pass. Yeah, and I would say, yeah, Vic's a smart operator. He will, no doubt, once Webley gets up behind him, if Webley gets up behind him, will do the same. So, as yeah, the chase is on. Curley now out in front. Well, Dawson provisionally in front.
Yep.
Then Curley, and he will have his head down. Tinnis will not want to make any mistakes.
As we see Pete Dawson in the lane.
So Dawson in the lane. It's only a matter of time.
It's going to yield the lead to Curley over Tinnis over Maverick.
That's right. Yep. And then Webley, J-Man, and that will put Frodo in 5th position. So good. Good showing from Frodo.
Yeah, also good showing from Prune Tracy as well, currently P7 as well. So a little bit of lap traffic between these guys. You've got T-Fam in there and also Adrian Kramer in there as well. He just rounds up as well. So this field's just going to shake itself out a little bit with a couple of guys out of sequence with the pit stops.
For sure. Firthy actually out there in the biggest gap in the traffic ever. It's like he's out there doing practice laps by himself.
Bit of a lonely race here for Firthy tonight.
So he's doing okay. He's just going to stay focused because there's nothing really to focus on other than just the track in front of him. So yeah, good on Nick Firth. They're holding down 9th position, J-Man. So good effort.
Firthy's 9th. Now where is T-Fam? Because those are the two that came together in lap 1. So T-Fam's in the pit lane and P19 3 laps down. So sort of, from such a great qualifying to back to that, just really shows you how quickly a night can change in some racing.
Absolutely.
So just looking at the margins there, obviously Mav and Tinnis, that's going to be a battle that's going to ramp up. I think Curley's probably likely going to stretch his legs here on a fresh set of tyres.
Yeah.
It's got 4.8 in the bank over Tinnis at the moment. Tinnis has only got 7 3/4 seconds back to Mav.
So it's the race for 3rd position that's really interesting here, J-Man, because, before the likes of Maverick and Curley turned up, Webley had ranged right up on the back of Tinnis again and, was challenging him for 1st position. So I just wonder whether, and that'll be 3rd position now if these boys get past. So once Mav's passed, so yeah, it'll just be interesting to see where Webley comes out in all this, J-Man.
Yeah, and okay, so looking at that, Tinnis